I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the player who is now top of the Challenge Tour Order of Merit after winning 3 titles this past weekend, Berry van Peer. Thanks for the time again, Berry. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. It's been a good weekend, so good times now.
Well, thanks for coming back on, and there is only one place to start, and that is with the weekend just gone in Milton Keynes. 5 events played on the Challenge Tour, and you won 3 of them to go top of the pile and open up a big lead at the top. You've had a few days back home now. Have those achievements from the weekend fully sunk in now?
Yeah, they've been sunk in a little now. It's been an amazing weekend, of course. Getting the number 1 spot was my main goal. No matter how much it would be the lead, like if it was £50 or I don't know more, I would have been happy. I would have taken it anyway. But winning 3 out of 5 is just changes the whole weekend, right? So it's an amazing achievement for myself as well. So happy with these.
And we know there's still plenty of events left to go. There's 2 more weekends of the Challenge Tour season, but you are in a position that I guess any player that hasn't got a tour card at the moment can only dream of being top of that Challenge Tour. So how do you manage those expectations going forward and not get ahead of yourself?
I'm just gonna keep on doing the same thing I've been doing for the past months, really. Just not worry too much about everything, no pressure. Just play and take every game as it comes, and then we'll just see where it ends.
Well, we'll come back to this past weekend later, but let's rewind back a few months to March and the second weekend of the Challenge Tour season, where you picked up your first title of the season. It was your first PDC title in 3 years too. What did that win mean to you to get back winning on the PDC, because you'd been in some good form, having just won the Dutch Open over in the WDF a month earlier?
It was a long time ago since I won the tournament at the PDC, so of course it's super nice. Meant a lot to me actually, because I wanted to do really well this year in the Challenge Tour, and I know my form was good, so it was like I just have to fire everything at all cylinders at the start of the weekend and just make sure I get a good spot on the ranking so I can play Pro Tours. Of course, if people withdraw. That was my goal that weekend, and it worked out for me. And from there, it was just cruise control, and now we're here.
Yeah, you mentioned those Pro Tours. That title helped you get back in the Players' Championship events as one of those top-up players, and it's fair to say that you're probably going to be in all those Players' Championship events now for the rest of the year. But what was it like being back playing in those events? Could you play with a bit more freedom without the pressure of needing wins for the rankings?
I would say it's better to play without pressure for that one, but at the same time, it just felt amazing. A lot of big players actually were like, "Hey, you're back. Good to see you, and I've been watching you." And I'm like, "Why are you following my results? Why would you?" But they're actually all excited for me, and it's really nice to hear. And it kind of felt like home. The goal at the end of the year is, of course, to just make sure I'm there the next 2 years minimum. So, we'll see.
Well, we also saw you on the Euro Tour as well, and we've got to mention that Battle of the Walk-Ons that you had with Jules Van Dongen. We had Jules on the show just before that weekend, and he warned us about his new walk-on song. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I know Jules quite a while now, and I literally said to him the day before, you know what will be funny? Or what will probably be typical, that we play each other in the first round. And we were like, nah, it won't probably happen, right? And then we saw the draw, and I was just laughing my head off. And I just texted him. The first thing was this is probably going to be one of the funniest or best walk-ons for a Dutch person, at least, to have. And we both enjoyed it a lot. It was quite a lot of fun. I don't know, maybe once in a few years I will chance this to happen due to draws and so. So it was super cool.
Times and you've picked up some good wins on the Euro Tour as well. You've beat the likes of Josh Rock, Alan Suter, Johnny Clayton, and you've made the final day a couple of times. How much confidence have you taken from those weekends playing on the stage again?
First time I qualified this year was for Munich, and then I played Jules, of course. Winning against him was a little bit of a weird game. He couldn't get going, but I was just playing good, and that made me feel very good actually, and it was so good to be back on stage and actually show the level I've been playing for the past months. And then I think I beat Josh Rock the next day, which he was not on his normal level, but I mean still I was pretty okay. And then losing the next day is not what you want, of course, but I was still happy with my performance. And the next day, the next European tour, I beat Alan Suter and Johnny Clayton, and in front of my home crowd as well. So I can't really complain at all about that. It was an amazing feeling.
Well, let's get back to the weekend just gone, and a memorable one for you, winning those 3 titles. I think it was something like 32 matches played, and you won 30 and lost 2 over the weekend. Are there any wins in particular, or any of the 3 titles which stand out the most for you, or are you pleased with all of them? Do they rank the same?
Well, the first one is like you're fresh, it's the first tournament weekend, so everyone is like either getting warmed up in it, or they're gonna play their best because of the level of focus. So it actually felt really good winning the first one, and it just lost the second round the third round or something in the next one, which is little bad luck, I would say. But I was tired, and the next day I was just I was feeling good again, and when I won that first tournament again, I was like, what the hell am I doing? It was kind of unreal. I was like, okay, this is number 2. I'm like, okay, I'll just try to get as far as possible in the next one, and then I got actually so tired at some point. I was like just drinking Red Bull and eating power bars and everything to just keep the power okay, and I think I survived some matches in the quarterfinals, and I was like, if he just hits it, it's fine, I can go to sleep. And if he misses, I'm just going to go all out and just try to win this tournament anyway. It would have been positive both ways, kind of. But it was amazing. I think the third tournament was probably the one I'm most happy with. That's like the 2 on one day. Because it's just super tough. It was energy draining to the max. But every tournament win is of course super good. So I can't really take a favorite or something.
Yeah, I was going to say those 2 titles on the Saturday certainly stuck out for me. Your first game of the day around 10:45 in the morning, and fast forward 10 hours later to around 8:45 in the evening, and you're closing out the second title of the day. You mentioned there the Red Bull. That might be a sponsorship coming your way. It looks like you've mastered the whole long days playing darts thing now.
Yeah, the first day, winning, and then the last 64, and I was already tired as hell. I was like, no, oh my god, if I get further in this one, maybe tomorrow I'm going to be so tired. I was actually quite happy to be in bed. But the next day I went to 2 tournaments, and I literally, I went out for some food quickly after with my brother, and I just touched my bed and was just knocked out straight away. I was like, oh no. I hope I wake up in the morning with some energy. But it was still tough in the morning, but still reached the last 8 or last 16. Don't really remember. Which I even thought I was... I lost to William Borland. I had the feeling I could win. I started really well, but I just couldn't... the wire was a little against me, and then I was like, okay, I'm too tired for this. Just let's go home. But it happens. Learning experience. Well,
I mean, you can't have too many complaints from the weekend, and you've made history as well. 5 career Challenge Tour titles, that's the most of any player. The money that you've won this year, that's the most that any player's won in a single Challenge Tour season, and there's still 2 weekends to go. So how proud are you to have set these records?
I'm very proud, of course. Making records is, of course, super good. It's super cool because, people want to be breaking records, that's motivation for some people. And the season isn't even over yet, so we'll just have to see what it will end with. Maybe there's another win, maybe there's no more wins. We'll just have to see.
Well, away from the Challenge Tour, we get asked by our listeners who is the best player without a tour card right now, and I'm not saying this just because we're talking to you, but I did pick you for my answer. But let's throw it to you, and you can't pick yourself, so taking Barry Van Peer out of the equation, who do you think's the best player right now, not on the PDC Tour?
Not on the PDC Tour. If I'm allowed to pick 2, I'll pick 2. Because one is doing really well in the WDF, and the other one is also doing really well in WDF, but the other one is young, and the other one is in the men's only, which are Luke Littler and Andy Badens, which really stand out for me. I wouldn't be able to pick which is better at the moment, because Andy has been winning WDF tournaments lately for fun, pretty much, and Luke has also just won the Modus Champions Week, and he's still like under 18, which is, it's just insane.
Yeah, I think there's some popular choices there. And back to yourself, when we last spoke, it was just after you won the Dutch Open. It put you in a provisional spot for the WDF World Championship via that reserve list, and you said you were looking at possibly entering a few more of the events. Is that still the plan, or given what you've gone on to do on the Challenge Tour, are you focusing on that now to get that first World Championship appearance via the PDC now?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to play in both, because I know the WDF one starts at the beginning of December and the PDC is like in the middle of December that starts. So if I can play both, and I think I'm okay with that, but I'm still planning to go for a few tournaments and then just get a few more points, because I'm not sure how much points I'll need. But yeah, I'm planning a few tournaments. I actually had to miss out on one because of a European tour I qualified for, so that's a little unlucky, but at the same time happy for me. So we'll have to see.
And away from your own darts, you mentioned to us you're also giving darts clinics a few evenings now as well. Just tell us a little bit about that, and for any of our listeners that are in the Netherlands, how can they find out more about that?
I have a new sponsor, Darts Shop Darts Fun, since just before the Dutch Open, and they've been very supportive of every tournament. And during the week, like in the evenings after work, I'll just go home, eat and all that, and then I'll just drive to the shop, and people can book me for a darts clinic, like improve their game or their stance, scoring doubles, anything really that they want to improve, and I'll spend my time with them and try to get the best out of them. And if they want to find out how it works, you can just visit Darts Shop Darts Fun website or Facebook and just message them, and you'll find your way.
Good man. And just lastly, you said to us after missing out on a tour card at Q School this year, you had to get into a new mindset for the rest of 2023. It's fair to say that's going well, winning the Dutch Open, 4 Challenge Tour titles. You're in a good position to get to the Grand Slam, get your tour card back, get to Ali Pali. Have you had time to reflect on how these last few months have gone for you, and how do you now approach this rest of the year now?
The mindset that definitely changed. I had a very not dark, I would say, but at Q School I was like so frustrated, and I got like blackout kind of. And from that moment I just thought like, okay, screw it, I'm just gonna play and just enjoy the game. And from that moment I won the Dutch Open and the Challenge Tours, of course, and it's been an unbelievable feeling, and I'm just like kind of cruising on not on the success or anything. I'm just cruising on enjoying what's going on and possibly what's more to come. I'm just going to enjoy the game the rest of the season and we'll just do the same as I'm doing. I'm not going to change anything. And hopefully it works out.
Well, it's working out so far, Berry. Congratulations on the titles at the weekend, and appreciate the time as always, and we wish you all the best for what else is to come in 2023 as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. No problem, and maybe I'll be back in the future.